Oh, that doesn't feel good at all. Right. We are. Yeah, it's funny. So, wait, where am I? I just gotta do a mic test. I've been off for a bit. Don't think anyone's missed me. Um, what? I didn't. But did I play it? I didn't play yesterday. I mean, I need to change it. Really, I need to change the title because it's not really good enough. But I can't. I mean, I need to change it. Really. It's not really good enough that it still says my first stream. It's just clearly not. It's confusing. Maybe I'll look into that. Let me see. Did it? Mr. Burns had done it. The power plant had won it. I did it. It's finally got it changed, so now we can watch it in peace. Did it? Mr. Burns had done it. The power plant had won it. I did it. Okay. It's finally got it changed, so now it will say that. Yeah, it will say the right thing. Mr. Burns had done it. The power plant. So the thing is, I'm not going to be playing. I'll be probably playing in like two parts because my brother was meant to come round yesterday, so I like held off for ages on like eating dinner. And he was like, "Oh, they got the boiler coming round. Oh, so they're fixing the boiler. Oh, fine." And I just texted him at like 4. Oh, and I was like, "What time do you think you're gonna come round?" He was like, "Oh, I don't even think they're gonna be finished until like 7." I was like, "What? 7 o'clock?" I was like, "I'm not gonna wait till 7. Sorry, dude." Because it'd be weird. Because otherwise, like, I'm gonna have to wait till 7 to eat dinner. And he doesn't even know if they're gonna be finished then, and they're not because he's now delayed now because he's meant to come round mine uh, at 3, so in like 20 minutes. And he's just said, "Oh, I'm gonna probably be more like at 4, which is like an hour and a bit." And I'm like, "Oh, I can't just hold on. This is too flaky for me." No offense, he did kind of like, "No, I love my brother. I'm not gonna have a go. I don't want to hold back grudges. It's fine. It's just because it's. I get it. It's like when you have a boiler, it's like it's a big deal." Because I think it's very important. I would hate to not have a boiler. I'm not gonna lie. I very much need. Like I get really annoyed because at the moment to save on money. I'm not even kidding. Like I only turn on the boiler when I'm gonna have a shower because I don't need it on the whole time. There's probably like people who will say it out. There's like pros and cons to actually just having it always hot. But the only difference for me is I've just noticed that like let's say if I wake up at 6, I pretty much as soon as I wake up, I have to. If I want to have a shower at 6:30, I need to get up and stick it on. It needs to be on for at least a good 30 minutes. But I might even change it now. I might even like get up at 6 and wait until about 22. Because I do feel like it does need probably because it's like it's a whole cylinder, isn't it? So when because I've got two heaters you can put on. Effective, that's just going to be like a kettle, isn't it? So you got to think like how much is, and when it gets really cold at night, um, if you want to know a nice little fact, a calorie, how much energy a calorie uses is the amount to boil, increase the temperature of a liter of water by 1 degree. That's how much energy a calorie is. So if you think about a tank, it's probably got like 200, 300 liters in it, maybe. Or maybe, yeah, I'd say something like that. I think you get one of these massive gallon jugs of water, where it's like that's like what 7 liters, 5 liters, and you think like, that tank's probably like yeah, maybe like 10 times the size of that, maybe. So yeah, maybe it is like 50, 100 liters in there, and then you got to raise that. So if it has had all night and it's gone really cold, and it's gone down to like literally just like 5, 6 degrees. It's gonna take ages for it to get up to like. But I think showers is around like it's not that hot. Your body is actually really quite sensitive in terms on both ends of the scale. I want to say it's like is it like in the 30s maybe? Any more than that, it starts to get really like quite hot, like a really hot bath. So it's gonna take a long time, isn't it? It's gonna take quite a lot of energy to. Whereas in the summer, um, it's like the other way around. It doesn't take very long at all for it to get because especially if it's like a really hot, sweaty day, where it's only like it stayed around like 20 degrees all night. And when the tank is just there, it's probably kept all its heat. It won't get any colder than like 20 degrees. So when you wake up in the morning, you can just turn it on for like, yeah, in like 10, 15 minutes, top it up. That's all he needs. But anyway, so whatever. No water. Well, he's got no water, so he's just gonna stay. So, but the thing is like, my parents just came round and they dropped the ball that my brother's actually going to the cinema with them to go watch the new Nuremberg film, which I probably would have. Would I? I probably would have gone with. No, actually, if they'd offered to pay, yeah, I probably would have. Because the cinema is literally I can walk there. So they made that point. They said, "Oh, sorry, we didn't invite you. It just actually we didn't really think about that." And I said, "Yeah, because that makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you did do that, I could just meet you in town. Because they're not too far anyway. But like, it's no distance for me. So it's like next time if you think about seeing a film, just let me know." But he was explaining that film to me, and I was like, that does sound like something I probably would have watched, actually. So, obviously, on this occasion, I'm not going to go with you, but I'm sure if I had asked, I'm sure if I like said, oh, I'd actually really like to see that, my dad would just say, oh, we'll pay for you to go. But I was just like, I'll say okay. But it looks so good. It looks pretty good. Because I like sort of more biopic films where it's like it is actually kind of based on something that's happened. Um, I know they'll just make it, they'll bastardize it and Hollywood it a lot, but who cares? It's like, we're probably just going to accept, like, yeah, a lot of the Nuremberg trial will be, it's not going to be like the super intense stuff. There's probably is a lot of stuff in between, filler and stuff, where he's talking about very specific things, which might not be that interesting, or just very, like, do you know what I mean? It's like when you watch the Frost Nixon film. Uh, I mean, I watched that when I was very young. I think I was like 15. And again, the internet wasn't like super. Well, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't until about like 5 years later, I always feel like, because that film always resonated with me because I really liked it. But it wasn't until I feel like about 5 years later where I actually realized, when I actually decided to like find the actual interview he did. And it's just like, it just isn't as punchy as that. It just isn't. It's like, the moment he says in the film as well, he doesn't really say it at all. Like as well, like in the film, they make it out like he accidentally says, "If the president does it, then it is not illegal." He he kind of says something a bit like that, but it's not. I don't think it left David Frost aghast, where he was like, huh, "I'm sorry," and then like Nixon to kind of correct himself. It was just more like he just kind of had his guard down because Frost was just being characterized as being like a bit of a frothy, not very serious interviewer, and he was probably just gonna give Nixon a really easy time because he's not really. So that was the ambush, was they were going to use that guys to uh, grill Nixon, but they only had like there was like certain caveats, like they were only allowed like one. They could only mention about the Wargate like once. Or something direct, or it's like yeah, or something directly about the tapes. And it was weird because in the film he like says it right at the start, and it kind of just doesn't go anywhere. And it's just sort of like, did he just waste the one chance? Because it's like the first thing he like asks him off the bat is like, why did you burn the tapes? And he's like, oh, I don't know what you've been reading. I don't think I can make a comment really. I don't know. I'm just kind of like just shrugs it off. I was like, uh-oh. But I think, yeah, in the real deal, it's like, and it'll be like that with the Nuremberg film as well. You're going to watch it. It's going to be it's very dramatized. Everyone's going to have like very impactful reactions. And not to say that these people didn't. It's just like in real life, it's like, it is a court trial. And these people are just going to be very stoic and very like, not very animated, but they'll probably be like that just to kind of make it a little bit more entertaining. Because otherwise, you might as well just watch the Nuremberg trials. Um, but anyway, so in that interim, I thought I'll just stick the game on. And there was a video that it caught my attention, and I put it on like a little bit this morning, and I just was like, I feel like I need to talk about this. It was Katie Killism, who I've talked about in like a previous episode. That's like now I know how to fucking name my tapes. I have to go back and like rename them. I don't know why you can't rename it. I'm sure you can. I think I was basically like what you had to do is you had to go into mod settings, and I didn't realize that because I was stupid. It was just more I was lazy. I wasn't curious enough. Um, but fine. And she was like reacting to her like haters. And I thought, okay, that this could be fun. But then it was like, as I watched it, as you'll find, it comes apparent that she's like paid them a cameo fee to like do a roast, I think. And immediately I just was thinking, okay, this is strange. Because you don't really do that, I don't think. Like, if you're just kind of, if you're a big enough idiot, people will just make videos. And it's actually quite funny because, and this is just, again, this is just me as like a straight white man just watching this. I'm thinking, this is insane. If I'd done this, I would probably, especially with someone like her with her platform, I'd be in trouble. But again, the sort of the gynocentric matriarchal world that we live in now, where it's women can pretty much go and say anything they like, and it has been kind of tested. I'm not gonna lie, like, you can hear women just sort of accusing and doing whatever, and they don't really, no one really cares. It's not, they don't really ever get, and that just seems to be the thing. It's just in general, just there's no real punishment for lying. I think I've just said this. It's just, everyone just go with the expectation that probably accept like your family and maybe like your closest friend. If we were going to go as far as that, if you just don't have family, but you do have some kind of like blood bond friend, just to remember that most people in life are just going to lie to you because there's just no punishment for really if they don't. It makes sense for them to do it to get ahead. Uh, and people, they know that people are gullible enough to believe them. That's the truth of it. It's just the only way you can actually have a society where you can trust people is when everyone does it. But if you just have bad actors, it just becomes impossible because you just always have that doubt until we have a device, some kind of super device, which I don't know why they don't know how they can, because obviously you can't do it, but some kind of like badge that you wear, and it's just always reading your like brain waves. And it's if you are just talking and it knows you and you know it's lying, it just goes red or something. But then I don't know, that could always get hacked. I'm just saying, unless you have some definitive proof, they're not lying. Just always assume they probably are because, especially famous people, they've got absolutely lots to lose. So lying makes all the sense for them. It makes sense for them to try to keep their good image or play the virtual signal because their brand. But I just think lying is like the worst thing. I just think once you lie, you just kind of ruined everything. You just make it so difficult to kind of function because you just are aware that this person has the capacity to lie. Not like no one. No, and at the same point, I'm not even like talking just like because I lie. Usually it's just a sort of joke. Unfortunately, I just think that there are kind of some people where you know that they're just not going to come from an honest place. So lying to them, I don't think is a problem. And I guess that's no better, but they're just people that you know that like you know off the bat they're lying. So you might as well just like lie to get back because it's just at least then you can kind of like show that you're not afraid to stoop to their levels because I think that scares off a lot of people who actually realise that, especially like Western cultures because they know there's a lot of shame. So I think if people of color like come across white people and they just can shamelessly say, I don't care about lying," like they'll label them as like a social path, but basically that's what most people of color will do, especially when speaking to like white people. Just lie. See it all the time. It's like you watch like those crime videos where it's like there's like people entering New Zealand, and there's always like these Chinese people like shuffling along, and then the what do they call them? Customs guards like stop them and open their suitcase, and they just full of like dried fish and oh god, all this like foliage and herbs and shit. And it's like you can't just bring any of this in, and they all suddenly just can't speak English anymore, and it's just they just deliberately become as like uncomplacent as possible because for them it's just they don't care. They don't care. They just don't care. It's not in their vocabulary to care. Well, no, it's not in their vocabulary. It's just not in their like brain. There's no shame for them if they lie and get caught because for them they see it as well. We might have got away with it. Imagine if we did get away with it. So we might as well try it. So they'll just do it, and it's their culture rewards them for it. Like if they come from China, especially, they're like, yeah, well done, man. And they know that's ultimately what they do. They just get a fine. So the Australian guy, hey, bring nothing in here. Hey, you listening? Hey, what are you doing? You can't have all these cigarettes. And they just go, cigarette, yeah. And they go, we got a translator here. And then there's some reason they're speaking like a certain type, or they even though they do bring a translator, and it is definitely the same like type. They start playing like they're like uh, the R word. They're just like it's really dumb, and so they're just struggling to understand like the questions. And that's just another thing you can do. It's just that's what you just do. You just make everything really awkward because the whole point is just trying to slow it down. You're just trying to like delay the inevitable or hope they'll give up because like they'll just get bored or they'll believe you or yeah they'll just say oh you're an idiot so okay off you go little scamp. And then when they get given the big fine it doesn't matter they just go back to China and there's no way that anyone chases up because like what New Zealand will just go over there and be like yeah you've got a Mrs. Lee who owes it and they'll be like yeah we're not going to chase that because they just won't. Because it's just the Chinese just see it as like the Chinese want to protect their own people. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. You know what New Zealand does? They do nothing. They just comply because they know that if they started like being awkward about it, China will just like increase tariffs, and China makes everything. So they'll just probably like lose out in some way. And that's exactly like with COVID as well. They're never going to really get held accountable for that because what are you going to do? They should give each one of us, every single person in the Western world, like 10, 30 grand. But they won't. So yeah, anyway, he's going to that film at like 7:30, so he's only going to be around here for a bit, and we're going to eat dinner. So whatever. So I'll probably go on after. Yeah, this video was just insane. So we're gonna try and get through as much as well. So like I said, I don't need to like try and get in there as quick as I gotta get in there. Oops, not that one.
Hello, Kate. Hey, Katie Cousin. Kate. Hey, Katie Cousin. Katie.
Yeah, so you gotta remember, so we got like layers, I suppose. You're doing like that Shrek thing. So you've got like effectively she is a creator herself. So just bear that in mind. Like when she's speaking to any of these people, she's on exactly the same kind of level of use in society as they are in reality. I know, like a lot of these social influencers, they like to kind of preach that they're different versions of them. Like Myron will probably say, Myron Gaines from like Fresh and Fit, he'll say like he's like helping people, so he's more virtuous than say Bonnie Blue, who's sleeping with loads of people. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, but in reality, the true answer is if there's a nuclear war tomorrow, and these people are all in like a dinghy, and I don't know, it just so happens that it's like the dinghy. They can't. There's like five people that they need to get rid of in society, and you've got like these people like Cataclysm, like Bonnie. A lot of them I don't know. I beat Albabath or someone like that. Anyway, just these stupid idiots like entertainment or whatever. They're the ones that go because you don't need entertainment. Like when ants are building their nest, they don't have like a cinema, do they? They're just fucking getting on with it. 'Cause it's like, it's what you do. The entertainment is just the kind of like when you're at the good part of society. But in general, like you don't need entertainment. You need to have like a farm, and you need to like make food. You need to have a doctor. You need to have infrastructure. You need to have like policing. So, anyways, there's that, and then yeah, it's like she's paid them because I thought it was like she's taken like a compilation, where she's obviously like rubbed these people up the wrong way, and they've all like separately made. I was like, okay, that's good. That's fun. If you're actually gonna like just you, your haters generally make videos of you, and you're just gonna sort of like watch them tongue in cheek and just sort of roll the punches and roast them. But like, what I've noticed is a couple of things. Is firstly, it's just she's gonna say it, but she's paid them. So when you pay someone for a roast, that's just I don't know. I don't know who's the winner at this point. It's like I think she thinks that and this is the thing. She shames them. She shames them because she says, "Well, at least I didn't have to sit here and take my money to." And it's like, I'm sorry, what does that even mean? It's money for rope. If you were gonna pay me, even if it was like £200. Just to do a minute of me just talking and just sort of saying just some very like, and a lot of them are because, and this is the other like cell phone. She's not like massively big. She's got like well 217. So I mean that's not bad, but it's still like I'd say you're in the up and comer. Plus we're gonna have to do like I'm sorry, we're gonna have to like play like so the fact she's a woman probably makes it, I'm going to say it does probably make it like 10 times easier, I'm sorry. So she's probably like 20k. And I know, and I'm not even joking, because like there's a guy I follow, Dancing with Ghosts, who's like, and he probably deserves to have, not even kidding, like this Cataclysm's audience. But he doesn't, he has what she has, so he's on about 21k. But he plays like, he's in a band and he can actually like do instruments and he's like he actually knows a lot about like music but whereas I just feel like Cataclysm, let's see, she's 23, so already we've got like she clearly isn't being and I think she has done it for a few years, so I'm gonna say she probably was on the internet, like she's probably been on the internet since she's been like a young kid, like most people these days. But anyway, I don't think she's been big for like that long, so let's say she was 20. So what life experience have you got there? Like, okay, so no one's really going to be watching you for your life experience. If I'm going to be really honest with you, people probably are going to tell you you've got like these really sick takes, but you don't. A lot of it's just based on nothing. It's not based on you having to understand discrimination of being a straight white man at work, and you just know that like people of color are going ahead of you, and it's not based on merit. It's completely based on a flawed system. But if you say it, you are accused of being racist. And she won't understand that because she's a woman, so she will only be she'll be enjoying the perks of DEI. So she would be like one of the people who would be she'd be like my boss. Because it's another thing that we're noticing. It's a humiliation ritual where like they'll deliberately do things like that. They'll deliberately get like men and they'll put like women who are just like straight out of uni as to be their boss, just to humiliate them as a way to like again just a way to get back at the patriarchy. Because like someone's uncle was a sleazebag in the 70s and pinched someone's ass. I'm being punished for it for some reason. Even though I would actually argue I could probably argue I've been sexually harassed. a couple of times at work by a gay guy and by a woman. I'd say I probably could twist it to get it like. See what I mean? So and then I'm not allowed to talk about that. That'll just be like, oh, I'm Beta. I'm not Chad. You see what I mean? So this is the thing. So you've got like that. Then you've got like I can't really distract the fact that because there are women that I see who like the way they dress are like, oh, it's just like normal. And what I mean by that is like usually it's just uh usually it's covered up and it's just a normal like a normal thing. But she doesn't because she's one of these like traumatized because she's clearly like I think she's alpha widowed. So I reckon she dated like some one percenter when she was like 18, 19. This is what always happens. Uh, and because they're like the top males, they just woo her with taking her out on like a boat or something like that, and then she loses her virginity to this guy. Then she wakes up and he's probably like just gone because he's rich and has loads of options. And then she's gonna spend the rest of her life like just being like and traumatized now and always judging all other men on this one bad experience she had. Um, and it's just very apparent that does hold that trauma to because it's the difference between men and women. Is the men they learn from their trauma, and it's like they'll meant talk about it, but usually they don't because they don't really want to dwell on it. Because that's actually a good point. Of trauma is just you don't really want to talk about it. You just kind of you just know every man's kind of just got a couple of stories maybe they just don't really want to go into, and I think actually the world's better for that. But women like to just reopen it all the time, so they just keep talking about it and keep talking about it, keep talking about it, and they just use it as like wear it as armor. You can't talk to me because I was SA'd. Do not disagree with me because I was SA'd. And I go, okay. Don't really know why we need to all know this. Why does everyone need to know it? But this is the problem that we have is we've just got like I don't know if again there's a psyops from China or India. They're deliberately doing this because they want like our white women to just like not breed with us, and that's probably more what it is. But for some reason, it's just yeah, we just like let these traumatized, damaged women go on in front of cameras, and they just prattle on about I don't know. Are they funny? Not really. I find like a lot of it, like, again, you're gonna hear this. Like a lot of her jokes just seem to be like shaming men that they're just kind of like incels or, and this is the dangerous one. She keeps calling like this guy. Oh, I don't even know if I can really say it. Like, it rhymes with bonce, but it's like a colloquialism we use in the UK, which means the P word. Now, I'm only saying this because, well, my dad was in the police, and he knew that there were a few like people because he dealt with like, um, not like slander, but like he knew for that you have to be really careful when you actually go around throwing that word around because you're not actually a P word until you have been convicted. That's actually like truthful, like, and you have to be so careful, especially like in America. It might be different here because that's where Katie's from and the guy, but I just think she has to be very careful. And I know there's like a lot of these like liberal feminized women who they love to do that 'cause they know that for a straight white man, the biggest thing that they can ruin them is if they're labeled a P word. So she just she just like doesn't really, I guess, know what is acceptable to kind of talk about. So uses that. And I'm just saying, like, if I was a man and or Emma, if I was doing what she was doing, I just think there would be a smarter way to play it. And this is the difference you have between like when they say women aren't funny, because I just think women are just generally very cruel, whereas men know like how to like hold their punch. You know, like, what you call it, like when you pull your punch. They know like where the line is. Women don't, and I think that just comes from like them not being told no because they don't have like a strong role model, a male role model in their life because they probably were a single mum and hung out with a bunch of simps and just these are probably like the first men in their lives who've ever said no to them. So they don't know how to act to it, so they just go straight into like nuclear mode, and they just start like, okay, so there's a story that he's hung out with us, and this is, I think, the true story. So that because I didn't want, I made sure I watched it this time because I did this last time, and like I actually think I started siding with someone that she was talking about, and he turned out to actually be like a real creep, and I was like, okay, I think I should watch it. Just try and watch these first because I didn't want to like bat for this guy, and then it turns out like maybe he is. But I have my digressions about that anyway because um, I said that well, why is if he is an actual P word, why is she firstly paying him? So she's giving him business and a platform, and he might now go and do more harm because of this. But she's calling him that, which is it is that. It's just I don't think you can just say that unless there's genuine proof. You can say they have. You might maybe allege it, or well, I don't know about that. I guess you can say that. But she's just not. I think she's just flat out just saying he's a bonce. He's a bonce. And the only like, anecdote she seems to have about it is, well, she has one specific anecdote where she mentions 18 years old, and that's fine. That's actually fine. I'm sorry. What does that mean? So this is your again white liberal woman, 18. I know she doesn't like it, but that's fine. In fact, in the UK, it's actually 16. It gets really creepy, but I think it does get a bit weird still if you're actually a bit older. But anyway, the alleged story he says is 18. Like he had an OF girl, he's 18, so she's already an OF promiscuous woman. Um, and she's a woman, she's not a girl, but this is the language they use. She refers in liberal womanhood. A woman's a girl until she's like I don't know 25 or no yeah like 26 20 like coincidentally it's like when they need to like settle down. Anything below like 25 is a girl, and they're really stupid and baby brain, and anything that happens to them from men is there for as the man's fault for like manipulation, even though they want to be treated and they say that they're as tough as the men. They're stupid enough to get tricked by the men because it's just they want to be victims. It's just what women do. They just want to be perpetual victims. uh And it's like to play on this, she would never will because I'm too small. But even if she reacted this, she would probably. I'm just gonna. This is just how fun it is for me. So this is why I just wouldn't even use interview. Like, talk. She'll call me a p word sympathizer, or she would say because I'm fighting on his side that I'm probably one. Because it's just this is the thing that they don't have anything really good to talk about or any good argument. So she'll just say that. She'd call me an incel loads as well, even though I've got kids. And even if she knew I had kids, she'd just still say I'm an incel. And then but by her actually doing this actually explains why a lot of guys just don't go in the dating market anymore. Because again, she's like 23, and like so she would be like considered a good age for someone to potentially settle down with and like have kids with. But she's ruined. She's just ruined for the rest of her life. She's just. I know that might sound harsh. That might be the biggest roast. But I'm just telling you, like, I'm just looking at her as like a type of person, not even as a person. But she's just ruined. She's just gonna be like. I think the fallacy is that women's virginity is meant to be something that's really protected. And that's why, like, for generations, you've had all these stories about, like, that the virgin princess, and that's like the ultimate goal to deflower her. Because it's once you do, women just have sex with one bloke. They get kind of like it's like when a duck is born. The first thing it sees, it thinks is its mum. It's like that. The first woman, first man a woman sleeps with is basically it becomes like this obsession, and they just can't get over it. Um, and then for men, they don't have that because men's jobs are to go out and to like try and do that, and it makes sense for the woman to do that because like you'd probably want uh, the woman to breed with that alpha because that's you'd think about that, wouldn't you? It's like the alpha it would go into town and impregnate all the women, and you want them to come back, don't you? To have more kids who are going to be like strong. But anyway, she's ruined. She's just fucked. She's covered in tattoos, really masculine. And this is the thing. It's like she'll just like, say about this. Oh, I'm too intimidated about a woman who's like that. And it's nothing to do with intimidation. It's more you just don't see what you are because you're under the guise. It's like like when people get groomed, and they don't even and it's really disturbing because like, it's the kids will still like be enamored by like the celebrity because like they've been experiencing like horrible like this is why you shouldn't groom kids because like their brains are developing. So when you're introducing like sex components to it, and then you've got like kids who are like gonna have to like learn about a heartbreak, even if it's like meant. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the sort of like trauma that it causes women. It causes them to go insane. Um, yeah, she'll just call me the P word, and I'm open. Like she can check my phone, she can check my hard drive. I generally have nothing to hide. I will happily die on that. But my only thing is though, I feel like if that happens to me, I deserve something for that. My troubles. If I'm gonna do, can I get some money or something? Can you pay for that and give me like £500? Because like I would. I don't think it's fair that I have to get all my stuff searched and then that's it. You see what I mean? Just get like, or she has to get her stuff searched because I bet actually, ironically enough, there probably is some like weird shit because a lot of plenty. There are actually just as many, in my opinion, women who are as bad as men. But I just think it's again we don't talk about it with women. But she's like super sex positive, but she hates porn, which is a very weird thing for me. I think probably people will look at me and go, "That does make sense," but it doesn't. It comes across as like I don't know. It just feels very narcissistic because it's like she loves getting off on sex. That's probably it. It's like her brain, her dopamine's like fried because she's just like probably been one of these classic liberal women where you go to uni and like uni pretty much now is just like the women are just doing nothing. They're just paying like 40 grand to get some piece of paper and then they probably just spend like the 3 years just like sleeping with loads of blokes. Um, and having the worst sexual experiences because like the blokes that they'll be with are just going to probably be not good because the whole point of college and bringing women to college is to remove women from the safety of their home. Doesn't everyone see what the feminism is? It's just a tool to remove the dads from the families because they know the dads are the really important ones that are going to be able to like teach their kids good values, especially their daughters, about good men and making good choices. So they want to like get women to go into university so they can like feed them um, anti-white propaganda. Um, Also shame, so they don't want to like reproduce because they're gonna like feel inherent like shame that they come from a lineage of these evil white crusaders who killed everything. And that's why it's like, Kay here, she's probably like been traumatized by probably and this is the thing. I won't be able to, she and I won't even believe her if I even ask her to be fair, but I'd be intrigued to know what race the people were. Because women are also taught that all men are the same. They're taught that like every man, no matter what race, is basically the same. And um, but they get taught to just specifically not like white men, straight white men, because that's like the Chinese psyops or big Islam psyops, isn't it? Like if you're trying to destroy someone's country and you wanted to take out straight white men, what would you do? Well, you'd definitely attack their women, wouldn't you? And especially when their women can vote, you definitely want to try and like make them vote against in favor of against the white men. See what I mean? And it's like we're at the realization stage now because it's like I'm a millennial. I'm one of like the younger millennials. Um, but we've got like the Zoomers who are like, no, they're just they're fucked off. They're like, this is bullshit. Like people, at least people millennials at my age actually did have a chance to potentially get married or have kids, like I did. But oh god, I just cannot imagine what it's like for Zoomers, especially like some of like the really young ones, where it's just like women are just gonna be impossible to date, and they're all just gonna be single moms or just fucking have a body count of like 30. because they've made it. The whole point is they've just made universities just it's so easy to get into that just anyone can get in there. If you've basically just got like anything, they'll just let you on clearing for anything, and then it doesn't even matter because you just got like some fuck all courses which just don't do anything. Even if you do a semi good course, even I'm gonna go as far as saying probably even if you do a STEM course, I bet actually there's not even that many jobs. Firstly, that will pay very well, or even necessarily like um, does actually really guarantee you success or anything. I just think that's just we've been bamboozled by the degree system. And it's like one thing actually I'd say the Indians probably were smart in doing is that you probably were just better off just faking it. Just go take a gap year for like 2-3 years. Use that gap year just to earn some good dosh, and then just like maybe use some of that dosh to just pay someone to make a semi good fake degree. And I probably assure you that no one will ever really scrutinize you. No one is ever really going to like call up your university and say, "Hello there, can I just check that Mr. Blah 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 was there during this time?" Oh, well, it was like 15 years ago, but yeah, we can absolutely 100% prove by complete verification that this person definitely did go into that university. Do you know what I mean? Because I swear, like, even if that happened, like, they probably would say something like, well, I don't know for sure, but I can't find anything on the records. They wouldn't, like, verify it and say, no, absolutely not. This person I can completely, unless you, like, probably escalated it, but if you just called up the sweet receptionist, you probably wouldn't. You should probably just say, from my records, I can't see anyone like that, but that doesn't necessarily mean. And that's the thing. Like, when they say that, then you can say, yeah, well, exactly, but I definitely did go there. And then they might like say, "Can I have a look at the certificate?" But even what does that mean? Like, most of the certificates are just made from some random place. I might have an exam board on it. I'm not going to deny that. Sorry, but do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, to even get to that point, most people won't. Especially if it's like you've actually then gone in and just worked a job at that point, because then most people are just going to base you on what your performance is at work. You know what? This guy's so shit on like this mode. All right, fine. I'm going to do economy.
You've managed to make plenty of content on me. So if you have clicked this video today...
That's what I think of her crappy video. I'm just going to play this until my brother texts, so it might probably just end in like half an hour. When Gin and Toes are like, I hate you. Ooh. Yeah, I wish I could just go Suzuki Bachi. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you little bastard.
It will be for one of two reasons. One, you are intrigued by the people in the thumbnail and the title, or two...
Nah, all the people, I don't even know any of them. I don't really know her. This Katie Clisson has just caught my attention because she kind of represents everything that I kind of despise. And she probably will be a case study, and I know she'll probably say I'm a case study, but that's fine. As a man, like, I get that all the time, but she probably will be. She'll be like in the book about like feminism and just kind of like what it did to kind of destroy how feminism nearly destroyed the Western civilization. And she'll be on there. There'll be the whole chapter devoted. It might even be in reference to some one of these videos. If it wasn't for the extraordinary work of Mr. Input, we might never have known about these horrendous incidents after she nuked her channel. These are the last, even though we don't have video footage of it because it's only voice, we can understand from its fantastic description of like a come on. This is not really acceptable, right? Gonna die.
You absolutely hate me and want to see me be roasted by the worst of the worst influencers, well, either way, today is your lucky day, guys, because after 2 years of my YouTube career, I'm gonna take it. That sounds wrong. I'm gonna take what I get.
And this is it. It's like, I don't really get like what she's doing because she uses like loads of sexual innuendo double entendres, which in itself, I suppose, I'm not saying that as a prude, but I'm like, again, she's anti-porn but pro-sex. But remember, she's still. I'm sorry what you think. Women might watch women and laugh, but I don't think men are ever watching women and they're laughing. If men are watching you, they're probably always looking at you as like a potential sexual partner and judging you potentially by, even if it's like a really old ugly woman, you probably would very quickly look at her and say, okay, no. But if you're someone like Kay Clism, who's kind of in her prime of her like life, this is where it gets weird. Is because like she's entered the man arena. This is what the feminist problem is. It's like, this is why I'm making a video on her. If she was just like a normal woman and she was just married to someone and was just a mum and she just like whatever, just didn't, I wouldn't do anything. This video wouldn't exist. In fact, I probably would be with my like wife as well. Do you see what I mean? But because of feminism, we're here because like I have to like talk about not necessarily her. I know she's not the one who's done it, but she's like, oh, she must be like wave 3 or 4 by now. Well, she is wave 3. Wave 3 is basically we are a man. Wave 4 will be basically just be like we are better than men, which is basically is what she is, to be fair. So she is pretty much a feminist wave 3.5. Where she's just like you see what I mean? She's doing the roast. Like before, it would be unheard of to have a woman doing a roast to a man. Like, but now, this is just, what day of the week are we on? Yes.
And let me just explain a little bit. So you may know me through my alphabet videos that I did at the beginning of my YouTube journey, where we would follow the crazy woman and all her crazy antics and like mental breakdowns on live. Or you may have joined me in the recent year where I have taken the route of talking about OnlyFans and people like Bonnie Blue and how she bonks 1,057 men, and basically how much I hate people and how much I hate.
She's like the edgy girl from like. We don't have Hot Topic in the UK, but I'm guessing for most people. Yes. I should have teleported. I fucking should have teleported. Yes. No! At least there's only 2.
Crazy online influencers that seem to be the bottom of the barrel in society. But many criticisms that I've received over the years is that I build my career off of talking about other people.
Yeah.
I think I'm holier than thou, which are all valid criticisms,
Yeah, they are. That's the thing. They're not really criticisms. They're just you are. By the very fact and nature that you are like a celebrity or an influencer, you are essentially saying you are better than people. You are ultimately saying that, like, for example, you are better than me categorically because you just probably have more people than me. Even if you don't see it from that, I think a lot of people they won't be able to do it. I mean, that's why, like, to even give you, well, I kind of contradict myself, but to prove my point, even if she saw this video, she wouldn't bother making a video on it because I'd have more to gain from her roasting me, I guess, because I'd say like 98% of her fans on people will say I'm an idiot and I'm just a loser, but I would potentially gain 2%, and that would be more for me to gain than her to lose, because the 98% I don't care about. They'll just be like women and betas and like Indian and black guys, but like the 2% that I do get, they would potentially be like they're the ones you want. That's why a lot of streamers don't punch down, because they know they don't really have much to gain. Like, if you're like, I don't know, yeah, like Cruel Mind, Happy World, it makes sense for you to like make a video on Ethan because you think, oh, if I can shake that tree and get a couple of his detractors to come on it or some hate watchers, that's brilliant. And that's kind of what she was trying to do.
No, I know that I am equally a bit of a scumbag. So, today, ladies and gentlemen and those in between, we are hosting the roast of Cataclysm. I'm getting a little bit nervous, guys. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. So, we've got lined up for you today 5 of the best influencers, I guess, known to mankind. We've got Elphaba, Paul Breach, Ash Trevino, it's alright if you haven't heard this one, Simple Simon, and of course Bonnie Blue, who have all under my request, some I had to pay for, but under my request.
Yeah, okay. Some she had to pay for, but I don't know. Is she going to prove that? Like, how can you not prove it? Shit. Oh, I'm getting creamed by the original guy. Okay. Wow, he dodged it. I can't believe that.
Me. And yeah, we're going to be reacting to that today. I'm ready. I think I'm sweating a little bit. So I think we stay in a chronological type order, and we're going to be looking at Elphaba today, who I have covered multiple times on this channel for crashing out on lives, lying about having autism, and being a bit of a deplorable human being. And I, like with all the others, sent her a request and said, hey, roast me, baby. It's your turn.
So you can play that, Buddo.
That sounds oddly sexual. Let's see what.
Yeah, exactly. It always. This is what I mean. She always talks about sex. Stop talking about it. We get it. You're a woman and you like sex. Don't have to keep making sexual entendres. I do, but they're not like. This is the difference between women as well. It's like I probably do, but I would say something like just suck on my big nut, and I don't mean that. Well, no. I think it's just different when men say it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like men are supposed to kind of just be the more vulgar ones. So when you just got like, oh, I'm one of the gals, it reminds me of there's this like meme going around at the moment, which is quite funny, from Family Guy, where it's like the Crusaders, and it's like this one woman soldier, and she's like trying to hang out with the boys, and she's like talking about all this like disgusting masculine stuff. She's like, oh, I like burping, and I like to like take craps and take pictures of it. And the guy's like, oh, gross. it's like that. Like, men don't want to hear about like their girlfriends having shits and stuff. We want to pretend that you don't do them because that's called being feminine. I know that might sound like really fucked, but just, do you see what I mean? There's a reason like women just like the women who are like sort of more dressed up, dainty, and they keep feminine. And they don't say crude words, and they're just motherly. Like my mum gets like embarrassed if I say swear words. Like I think that's quite what's the word? Endearing. And that's why I give my mum respect. That's why when my mum comes round, I like vacuum and stuff and make the place look nice. Because she's a woman. And she deserves it. She deserves chivalry. But when like Cataclysm pays a bunch of freaks to roast her, like no, she can pay half the bill. I don't know. She can pay the whole bill. She earns she earns way more than me. She can pay the whole bill. But she won't. She'll probably want like a guy who does like traditional standard. But she herself isn't traditional. And the funniest thing is, I think she's already got herself into some hot water, because I watched a video where it was like, what was it that she was implying? It was like there was a guy who worked for I'm Alex as an editor, and she just said something that was really stupid, I think, and she deleted it because I guess she realised that, and I don't know. Part of me wonders if she will with this. I just don't think it's a good look to go. I don't know if we'll get to that part in the first stage of this, cause I don't know, but it's like I think it's like the first guy she speaks to is this guy who's like, um, I think he does TikTok, and I think allegedly he's probably been speaking to very young girls. I'm gonna say probably he has. I'm not even gonna doubt that. But all I'm just trying to say is just like, why are you putting him on your show, and then why are you giving him money, and then why are you? And if that's the case, are you really, really, really sure he is that word? Because you just got to be really careful. Because for men, it's very serious when like they get called that, and especially if they're not, it can completely ruin their lives. And it's just something you got to be careful, especially when you've got a platform with like 200,000 people. You got to be really careful because a lot of her fans are just probably mostly going to be women. That's why, like, I think I was actually there was a period where like I would watch these and I would like go on her comments and I would just deliberately just try and kick the hornet's nest by saying something like, I'm a straight white man and I would just like to apologize for something because I'm sure I did something wrong. And you just get like really, really bitter women who just like get really angry.
After all the years of doing content on her.
Hello, Kate. I saw your videos about me on not on TikTok, but YouTube. I just wanted to say.
Yeah, like most of the people generally. I'm not trying to inflate. Sorry, like make a point. They generally, I think, don't really know who she is because I don't know who like actually Elba Bath is. But I know I've heard her, and I know like a lot of people have been talking. I don't hear anyone talking about Katie because I only found the video because it just so happened to come up because I do subscribe to her just because like I kind of. She's a little bit of a case study for me, but I think Elba Bath is like, and I know like definitely Bonnie is much bigger than her. So I actually do generally think that a lot of these people, she's paid and they don't really know, especially because I know like, especially like British creators, it's just you just do not get the wow factor. It's really hard to pop on YouTube as a British creator. Like, who's the biggest British creator I can think of? KSI, maybe. But then he only gets because of the black vote, really. And I know you're gonna say that's racist, but it's true. Racist. Oh, I guess I don't need to. Yeah, I do. Yeah, he does this move. Remember this when he blows up Grimjaw's hand? He just does an unknown move. Wow, I can't believe they make that his like top move. Isn't that so dope? He doesn't become the Lotus. He doesn't do anything cool with Suzuki Bachi. Not Suzuki Bachi. Whatever there's, you know.
That I'm not going to roast you.
It just
Automatically,
yeah.
alright, not off to a great start, Alphabet. I requested that you roasted me, and I'm getting...
Yeah, exactly. You requested it. It's like the kid who asks for the birthday party. You don't really ask for a birthday party. You just hope you deserved one. Do you know what I mean? And just if maybe you don't get one, and you haven't hinted it to your friends, or maybe get new friends or hint it harder. Do you see what I mean? I don't really know. Like, if you're gonna ask someone to roast you and you're not really happy with the job, can you really be annoyed with that? Like, that's what I mean. Generally, when someone wants to roast you, it's not something you're paying them to do. It's like, and I'm not saying like obviously you get like the comedy roast and stuff, but they're all they're like actually like bona fide big celebrities. If that makes sense. It's a bit different when you're all just kind of like e-celebrities and you're all just kind of like, oh god, uh-oh. Yes. What a hit.
Some sob story or some pep talk. You know what? It's your turn. Take the stage, Alphabet. Take it away. I'm going to sit here and be quiet, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen for once. I'm going to shut my mouth, because I know a lot of you hate it when I interrupt the video, and we're going to watch.
You may think I'm totally different online, but I'm facing a lot of mental health right now.
Okay.
That's pretty funny. So this is like when it gets funny, because I call this like the liberal defense, which is when these two when two liberal women start go, or two people, or like left people go against each other, there's like a hierarchy of like you got to play like your traumas and your um, vulnerabilities as like trump cards. So I think she's trans, so she's got that. But Katie's like a white woman, so she's got that. Um, Elbath's got mental health, so does Katie. And also Katie is a victim of SA as well. So this is what I'm saying. So like Katie wins because she's got like more trauma. Someone like me, I'm really screwed because like, well, I have gone through traumatic times, but I'm not going to talk about them. I just think like that's something like I'm gonna just sort of say like I don't really have any active trauma because I don't. Because like I have, but I'm just gone over them. I'm not gonna like let them ruin my life because that's what you're meant to do when you're like a healthy person. You just kind of you're over it. Like to give you examples, like Kay has trauma about the reason she's pro anti porn is because she dated a guy who used to watch porn and didn't want to have sex with her. So that's why she's pro sex, because she was annoyed that he wanted to like jerk off and have an orgasm over another woman. And she probably doesn't even care about that, actually. She's probably just annoyed that she didn't get an orgasms. Do you see what I mean? So there's like a selfish component to it. And this is what was great. This is why to me, because I'm really interested in like I guess human psychology, and I just think like women are just like they're revealing everything about them. Because like I don't. The thing is, I would only find out how insane women were as if I had to date them. And, like, it's just much more interesting to observe them from afar. Just kind of, you really do like understand like how illogical they are. They're absolutely just they're just like a brain that's just like functioning on a bunch of hormones, and because their body's designed to have kids, their hormones just go out so insane. Like testosterone for men is like generally quite consistent, so we're able to like have a structure. If you have a female boss, you know, like, and everyone here will relate to it. You just get like a week where she's on her period, and it's just you just know she's an absolute nightmare. She even uses it as an excuse, and you just have to take that. You just have to take that, dudes. You just have to take that. Isaac Newton didn't have to take it. Oliver Cromwell didn't have to take it, but you have to take it, mate. You have to take it. Henry VIII didn't have to take it. The woman even talked to me, but what are you doing? Even if it's his wife, like, what are you doing? You're cold. I don't care. I'm the king. I've got a country to run. Go talk to one of your maids. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, don't care. You're just gonna make up stuff. You're gonna lie. You're just gonna obfuscate, because it's just what we've done. We've just given you a society where you can say and do whatever you like, and there's no discipline. Men can't do anything to actually like subdue them. Whether that, you know, you want to talk about being here, which is the far extreme, but I have honestly seen some women where I've watched like relationships where they just do the absolute insane things in the world, and if they were blokes, they'd get their asses kicked. There was like this one where it was like a black woman who was sat playing on like one of those basketball games, and she just gambled away like this black guy's like about all of his rent money. And they were obviously like she was like her girlfriend or something like that, but she doesn't care because she's a woman, so she's got loads of options for one. And if you know he just kicks her out, she's just gonna go probably to someone else in her roster. But to him, he's like, "Fuck!" He's like, "This woman's just spunked all my rent. What am I gonna do?" He like breaks the computer, and then she starts getting like really like playing the victim. And it's like, as a bloke, you just know he can't do anything. If she was a bloke, he would have beaten her ass up, and there'd be no problem. But because she's a woman, she knows she can get away with it, and that's the game that they played. The women, and then women can just go on record doing whatever they like. Oh, fuck. I got to lock in. I might be able to do this. If he transforms, I won't be able to take another hit. But if I can take another two. But I'm gonna have to fucking lock in and do that. Oh, seriously. Yeah. Oh, this is not good, folks. Really?
horses. I know I said I was going to shut up, and I will, I promise, but something that rubs me the wrong way every single time it's said is when people say, I'm facing a lot of mental health. Imagine I just walk into the hospital and I...
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is it. It's like... I'm not allowed to say how good my memory is, but it's a good memory. But anyway, I've been watching her for a bit, and there was like a period where she was like going on for ages about... Oh, I mean, this is it. I can't read. I'm lucky enough to actually take God to hers. But, she's like talking about ADHD and autism for ages. And it's just like, great. I'm sure I can easily look in her shit and find loads of times where she's probably like used her mental health as some excuse to get away with it. But I can't be bothered because she's probably made loads of these videos. But I can just guarantee something she has. So I just find like when she then defends that, I just find it very interesting. Look how little damage I'm doing. Like, what's happening here? Like, how am I supposed to even win this? But I'm barely can even scratch him. I was thinking I could just do the free hit pass, but like, look how long this is gonna take. Barely even scratching these guys. Oh my god. Wasted the skip. I'm not even gonna get one down. I can't hurt. Like, did they give these guys charms or something? Like talismans? Because like, I can't. I'm barely doing a dent in this fucker. And look how big, like, my band guy's barely even doing it. 1-9. Maybe I'll go down.
Like, I'm facing a lot of health. A lot of health. I'm facing a lot of health. Everybody has mental health. Is this not just something people know? Okay,
Yeah, but like, again, I'm not... I would probably say I've been essayed before. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, as a bloke, I think I have. I've been in a nightclub and I've had like gay guys like rip my ass, and I just kind of whatever. But so what I'm trying to say to you is, I think there's a lot of blokes as well who actually have been sexually abused, and it's just they don't champion it or they just don't process it. They're not like. Do you see what I mean? Like, for me, it's not something I really... And I think it's happened to me with some women as well. I want to say there's, like, been times where I've been in, like, clubs and, like, women have just, like, latched onto me and just, like, grabbed me very inappropriately. And like, I didn't reciprocate to it. And you just kind of pull them off. And it's, like, it is very, like, yeah, I'd say that's happened. And as a guy, you almost think like, oh, that's actually kind of a badass. There's probably guys in the club who might look, but no, actually, it's not. It's not right. So your chat's not bad. Yeah. Okay. But I'd say that's happened to me before. But the difference is like, I'm not gonna go and like say that and just bring this story up. And because I'm a woman, I would like you'd make it like really. You'd have like a really big dialogue. You're gonna make obviously. You're gonna like elaborate everything. You'd be like, oh, you got like cornered in a toilet, in a disabled toilet or something. It's like, no, nothing like that. I was just on the dance floor. Someone just gave my ass a big old slap on the ass, which women would consider that. If it was a woman, you'd scream, ah! And then the music would, and then like all the lights would come up, and then they'd go around and they'd like find out whose hand is red raw from like, taking a big slap on this big black woman's booty, and then he would get like beaten up and put in prison. But for me, no, nothing happens, mate. I'm just violins. Again with Katie as well, like. Something happened with her. It's horrible. It's really disgusting. Really disgusting. Can I just say that we women these days live in the scariest generation because we've got like the most amount of female victims of SA in like history ever. Can I just say that's crazy? This is the sort of statistic we should run with. It's like seriously, if you look before the 1950s, there's like no case. It's like nothing.
Everybody has mental health.
Yeah, dum dum. Wake up, dum
You
dum.
have mental health issue. You know what? Whatever.
Wake up, dum dum.
And you're going to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, you've got to make your money. You know, I mean, I'm not here to.
Yeah, and this is the thing. They actually do a good job of roasting her because they just play on the fact that she is just doing it for money, which she absolutely is, and that is like her crux. And Nicholas D'Orio always does this as well. He's just like, yeah, well, I don't care because I make money, and that's just kind of like, is that actually good enough? Is that just shows like a hedonism, a selfishness? Great, okay. What you just want all the money? If someone just said, here's all the money, would you take it? Yeah, I'd take all the money. No, okay, so what's the amount of money you would take before it's too much? Well, I'd take like 98% of the world's money and then give the rest of the world. Yeah, okay. At least you made money, though. You see what I mean? It's like, I would like to know like what is too much. So you'd almost want to take one of these people and be like, and do that to them. Be like, okay, you want to sit and make money? Here's all the money in the world, and just keep pouring like money into and then literally yeah, it's like a saw trap. They just die from the amount. Yeah, that's it. So all of the money that they make, you convert it into single dollar notes or pound coins, and it's like you have to pour that in there. So if they were like humble and they hadn't earned very much, they'd be okay. But because they've been hoarding all this money, then they're the ones that have to suffer. Could you suffocate in notes? I suppose you could. I suppose if you just pumped enough notes in. They started to become like actually like yeah, I think you could. Or did I?
Tell you what to do. This is your account at the end of the day.
That's what I think of this game, sticky but
All I can say is I haven't had it easy.
yeah, exactly.
I haven't at all. We are all in such a scary society right now where things are just getting worse and worse.
Worser and
I have
worse.
not been
Is
the
that?
best
Yeah.
person. I've been a bad
Oh
person.
my goodness.
Now. I've been a bad person in the past. You know.
I think she's
I'm trying
British
to
as
turn
well.
it back, you know. There's a lot of lies.
I just don't care for like any of the sort of.
That.
I don't know. I'm gonna call these people like I'm trans, and that's my whole shtick. And I just seem to find that it's a lot of people where it's like they've almost gone trans just because it's a way to make money, and this is like the psyops as well. I think the Muslims are doing this to try and get all the men to turn into women, because again, then they can't breed. They want to like get all the straight white men to convert into trans, and that's the only way you can become big because. That's it. Like they all just watch each other just because they all support each other because that's the whole grift. It's like they're not actually talented, most of them. It's just oh you're trans, so I'm just gonna watch you just because I think you're brave because you're trans. And that's the whole journey. It's just like even if you somehow transition without any trauma, it's still just brave that you exist. So anyone who's trans is just better than anyone who's not trans just because like, you've had that journey of. And that's the sort of way I see it. Is that people who are trans, their opinion's worth more than me, because I'm a straight white man. And what do? I just destroy everything. What are they? Trans person. So they know everything, and that's how it is. And it's just like the weird. You gotta like just think about that. Just be like, does that make sense? Oh, Willies and Boo. Oh yeah. It's Bankai, baby.
Okay, a quick little break, a quick little halftime show break. First of all, yes, I actually do acknowledge that we are in a horrible society, and actually, Elphaba, as a trans woman, I understand that you will receive an ungodly amount of hate just for being trans, and I genuinely don't think condone that. I think
I don't think women do have a very good job of actually really understanding what's. I think they say that as very like fake empaths. But I think it takes like a certain level of intelligence to actually really be able to like put your brain in someone else and understand without any bias what they probably are thinking to give you like a really good thought. I think really smart people can do that. But I think women, especially when it comes to like understanding like men's role in society and how easy and difficult it is, they are like one of the worst ever. Because again, a lot of women, they just use anecdotal evidence and don't really think about things as like a whole. There's like a common meme which just goes around where it's like it's based off like a conversation on Twitter where someone was like, "Oh, the average height for a woman is 5'6," and then a woman says, "Well, I'm 5'8" though. And then the person said, "This is just literally every comment of a woman," because it's like they always use their own personal, and that's why like they can't really be leaders or they can't really vote well because they just base everything on like hunches and feelings and vibes, and they're the ones that like believe in fucking mind reading and psychics and mediums and clairvoyance, wizards and angels and all this craziness. And they don't even believe it. It's like they actually, yeah. It's like they just refuse to like talk to people who don't accept what they believe. It's crazy.
I always try to use my platform to advocate for trans people, especially when I do content on Alphabet.
Doo-doo.
I
She
like to
said
make it very
doo-doo.
clear that if you
Did you hear that? She said doo-doo. That's a good roast. That's what her fans are, doo-doo. Oh, it's dope that you do become like the hollow. Look at this. Hey, old man Sengetsu. Willy Zaboo. Oh shit, bro, it's coming around. Alright, fine. See, the game's over.